Welcome bitches, one and all, to my reaction to the season 3 finale of The Vampire Diaries, The Departed. So last time we ended on a very concerning scene where Elena collapsed to the ground and was bleeding out of her nose, I believe, after obtaining a head trauma earlier on in the episode. Now, I'm quite terrified, to be honest with you, because she's alone, and this being a finale, anything can happen. Like, are we actually going to see Elena die? I don't think we will. Elena's one of those characters that I feel like is going to be here till the end. I don't think we're ever going to lose Elena, but what is this going to be? It could be a moment of us losing her for a certain amount of time. Like maybe they can find some way to bring her back from the dead, or if they're just going to save her this episode, or they could even turn her into a vampire. They could even give her someone's blood, and then when she actually dies, she then becomes a vampire. That could be an insane story as well, but holy fuck. I don't know what to expect. This is the issue. I'm just terrified. I don't know what's going to happen to Elena. So yes, with that said, let's jump in to the season 3 finale of The Vampire Diaries.
Hey, Jeremy locked himself in the bathroom again. Do you think we don't know what he's doing in there?
He's 14. They don't think.
Jenna.
Morning. Morning, Mom.
Mwah.
Oh shit. So it was just a dream. Oh, that was so sad. Jenna. Is this reality though?
She got a little banged up today, hit her head, but it was just a slight concussion. Nothing to worry about.
Are we
But
sure?
She collapsed. It was blood.
Honestly, Jeremy, she's okay.
I am a little bit concerned. Like, have they used vampire blood? Because please do, if so. If not to turn her, then to just heal her, because you never know. Like, is Meredith 100% sure that her head is okay? Because I don't believe it right now.
Hello, Meredith.
Oh, God.
What are you doing here?
I'm Elena's guardian.
Oh, God.
You are a little too good at your job.
Oh, no. Oh, no, she's... Oh, no.
The council will be in touch with the medical board to have your license suspended. Mayor Lockwood and Sheriff Forbes are being relieved of their duties.
I'm getting this town back under control.
Okay, right. I was concerned that he was going to kill the mayor, the sheriff, and Meredith because they side with vampires, but it seems as though he's just taking their jobs away as like a punishment. But yeah, hopefully he doesn't actually hurt them. Nice one, Jeremy.
Do you want some tea? Maybe some vodka? Both will help you sleep.
Hell yeah. Some vodka-infused tea, please.
I know. Being smothering. It's what I do.
It's nice.
I love Caroline.
I'm thinking maybe tea with vodka.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be disgusting, but at least you'll be asleep. Aww. I feel like, being that the episode is called The Departed, and given that we just saw Jenna and Elena's mum, in terms of like the TV world, it would be weird of them to ask those two actresses to come in for a 5-second scene. So are we going to be talking to the real versions of them in this episode? Like, is Bonnie going to like contact the dead or something? Or even Jeremy, because we still haven't got confirmation whether Jeremy has disconnected from the dead. I haven't even thought about that. Can Jeremy, given that he could communicate with the dead, could he communicate with his parents if he wanted to? Like, if he truly tried? But then I would assume that he's tried already. Like, I wouldn't put it past Jeremy trying to connect with Jenna, his parents, anyone who's died. But yeah, wow. God, I'm not ready for this episode.
So as I psychically predicted, flare jeans are making a comeback. Say what you want. I've got a bad feeling about the bonfire tonight.
Is this when her parents die?
Jenna's in town and my parents want to do family night.
Yeah, I think this is when.
See if you can sneak out.
Oh, it's weird seeing her and Matt.
Gotta see Coach Tanner. Love you.
Aw.
He didn't say it back. What?
Oh.
Can't string him along, Elena. If you're not into it anymore, just...
Oh, damn.
Tyler and Caroline got a call from their moms. What were you dreaming about?
Sophomore year.
Seems like forever ago.
Whole different lifetime.
I'm sorry that I strung you along. I should have figured out what I wanted and just been honest about it.
A lot easier said than done, especially at that age, Elena.
It's not right what I'm doing to them either. I have to let one of them go.
It's one of those really tough things in life where it's like, she's not intentionally doing this. It doesn't come from a malicious place. And you could definitely argue it comes from a selfish place. You definitely could. But it's not that she is happy stringing them along. She's just said she's not. It's not that she's happy that she has both. Well, yeah, she's happy she has both, but it's not like an intention to have both. She just doesn't know what would be best for her. She doesn't know who she wants to be with. And can you really blame her for that? Because it's one of the biggest decisions of life, trying to figure out who you'll end up with for the rest of your life. And even then, at the end of the day, once she picks one of them, the other one might not ever want to like see her or be with her if she breaks up with the first one. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, there's so many big decisions here. So I do understand, but yeah, if she loves them enough, then she should pick one simply to end the other one's pain of not knowing what's going to happen, you know?
Thanks, man. Tell the kitchen I appreciate him staying open for me.
Oh God, is it him? Oh God.
We need to talk.
No, is he gonna play on Jeremy's anger at the, like, vampires?
Go on the run for the rest of my life? No, thank you.
Yeah. She's seen what that did to Catherine.
Stefan.
Good point. Hello, Elijah.
Hello again.
Hello, welcome back.
Find out where Klaus's body is being hidden. I'll kill him. All his siblings. And when I die, vampires will no longer exist.
But the only way for you to die is if Elena dies.
Then lock me up. Have Bonnie put a spell on me like she did Klaus. Let Elena live a long, healthy, human life.
I suppose this is more of a question of if you consider a vampire's soul a soul. Like, would you consider Damon and Stefan having a soul? Because seeing how they are, seeing how Caroline is, I would say yes. I would say that yes, they've been given a curse where they now have a need to feed on human blood, and yes, they may be dead, but at the end of the day, they are the people that they used to be deep down to their core. So I see this as mass murder, but to Jeremy's eyes, maybe if he sees it differently, it won't be that. To Alaric's eyes, it's definitely not that. He sees them the same way that Esther does, where they are an abomination, they are a crime against nature, and they need to be obliterated. But I'm not sure where Jeremy stands, because I feel like given his interactions with everyone, and Tyler, who used to be a friend of Jeremy's, you would think that Jeremy would be completely against this, but he's lost so much, and he dealt with almost losing Elena tonight. I don't know where he stands.
After everything that he's done to us, I can't just let you bring him back.
I give you my word, Elena. I will not revive Klaus within yours, nor even within your children's lifetimes. Perhaps that'll finally teach him some manners. She could have been dead the instant I walked through that door tonight. So, Elena, I leave it to you to make the decision whether to trust me or not.
Not? Hello?
Damon.
Rebecca and Cole will honor the terms. If you return Klaus's body to us, Elena will come to no harm.
Cole is the wild card in this. He's the one that I don't know if I can trust because we don't know him well enough.
Why do you want Klaus's body?
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about.
He's my brother. We remain together.
We have always got that vibe from Elijah. Even when they've had their troubles.
We have a deal.
Family at the end of the day.
Mom?
Oh, I'm scared.
In here.
I'm scared.
You both need to get out of town.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. You want us to run?
We can't protect you anymore.
Well, we can't just pack up and leave.
If you stay, you're going to end up dead. You don't have a choice.
I'm not having Caroline leave. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Even if I wanted to help Alaric, I have no idea where Klaus's body is.
But, like, the way that they're discussing this, even if you were to help Alaric, you're killing Caroline and Tyler. Yes, I get if you have your issues with Stefan and Damon. They are new to the town. They are vampires from the day they got here, all that shit. You grew up with Tyler and Caroline. Do you realize what you're saying here? Do you realize what you're saying here? You're going to be killing them. Is their hatred for vampires? I know their hatred for vampires is a sentence that probably a lot of people don't agree with. My point is their love for Elena outweighing their love for everyone else enough to kill them? Do you get what I mean?
Yes?
I know where Klaus's body is.
Good. Tell me.
Damon's on his way to bury him in the woods off Route 12. I'll text you with the specifics.
Jeremy! This better be a fucking lie.
I know.
Okay. Cool. Thank God. Oh.
He bought it.
I was about to be so pissed off, bro.
We can't just leave town.
Yeah, but then...
Yes, we can.
No, but our friends need...
It's like, I don't want them to leave, but they will die.
If we have to spend the rest of our lives running, I will run with you.
Aww.
But first, I have to help our friends.
I'll get stuff together and meet you at the cellar in 2 hours.
Listen, I'm concerned because this whole I love you, I travel anywhere with you, parting of ways fucking terrifies me, because if you've got a town of the council, I don't know how many members there are, but if you've got a town of people who not a majority, but a good number of them are out to kill you, and you're traveling around town, I'm concerned, because they've just given them this beautiful scene where they're saying that they love each other so much, and what should we pack? I'll meet you there in 2 hours. That in television almost always implies that someone is not going to make it there in 2 hours, which I swear to fucking God, if they try and kill Caroline.
Elena and Jeremy lost Jenna and Alaric because of him. Tyler's a hybrid. My mother's a vampire.
Oh God, Bonnie, what are you going to do?
Could you give me a minute to just appreciate the side of him like this?
Hold up, Damon, I'm concerned, bro.
You should burn in hell. But if you die, so do my friends. So does my mother.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
I will do everything in my power to make sure that we all come back.
Stefan, forget it. We can talk later.
Ooh, I don't like that one bit. It's the same vibe as Caroline and Tyler. It's like the opposite version, where like with Caroline and Tyler, when someone confesses their love and like, oh, I love you so much, we'll meet in 2 hours. That gives the vibe of one of them is not going to make it. But this is the same and yet opposite. It's like, we'll talk later, I'll tell you later, and then later never comes because one of them dies. They're setting up a load of tropes here, which is fucking scaring me. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's got me terrified. Aww.
It's just in case there is no later.
Damn.
As soon as we get the stake, hand over the coffin and get out. Alaric's got half the police looking for Klaus's car.
Will do.
Is it Rebecca or is it someone else? I'm concerned.
About time, sexy Bex.
Where is Klaus? Oh, you'd be amazed at how competent law enforcement is when it's not corrupted by vampires.
Oh my God. My heart rate still hasn't come down. Holy fuck. But also, if Rebecca's on her way and he's here, watch out, love.
Sorry, I overhoneyed. I suck at tea. So, Stefan.
Interesting. I've got many things going through my head right now. I'm concerned if Matt has gone on Alaric's side here. I don't think he has, but I'm a little concerned. And then the over-honeying of the tea, is he drugged it? And that's why he's over-honeyed it to mask the taste? I don't know, I'm going on a fucking whim here, but a little concerned after we find out that he knows where the body was. Or was Matt saying that I know where the body is because he was like about to say to Jeremy, we can lie about where it is? Or does he literally know where it is and he's sold them out?
So do you feel like you owe him or something?
No,
Oh.
it's not that. It's after the accident, I kind of felt like I didn't know how to live anymore. Like I didn't want to. But then being with Stefan just
Brought back your joy?
You should love the person that makes you glad that you're alive.
Yeah.
So then what's the problem?
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you should be in a relationship with them.
And I know that I can't love them both. I know that it's wrong, but when I choose one, then I'll lose the other. And I don't want to lose anyone else.
Yeah.
I wish that I had my mom here to give me some advice.
I know that like we haven't really been given any indication that Matt has turned, but him getting very emotional there while Elena's like, I don't want to lose anyone else, has me concerned again, because it's like he's like, oh fuck, she doesn't want to lose anyone, and I'm like the reason that she's about to lose so many people. Do you get what I mean? I feel like I'm like too hooked on that idea, but it makes sense to me. Just with how Matt is. But I don't know, because then you're losing Tyler, you're losing Caroline. Like, there's so many things here. Would you really do all that just to keep Elena safe?
Trying to figure out how you feel about him right now.
I don't know how I feel.
Yes, you do. You're just afraid to say it.
Aw, good mother.
You're not gonna lose him, honey. You're setting him free.
True.
What's going on?
Is
It's
it
the only
Matt?
way I was gonna get you in this truck.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
What the hell is going on, Matt?
I'm getting you out of town, Elena. It's the only way to keep you safe.
You better not have told Alaric. If you're the reason, holy fuck. Rebecca, run!
Damon!
Rebecca! Run! Is she gonna find Damon dead and leg it? Oh! I can't handle this! Nice. No!
Run! Run!
I need a moment. Holy fuck. That was something I wasn't expecting. The only thing that is going through my mind that could change this is, did Bonnie do something else to Klaus? Did she, when she was standing there like, what am I going to do about that? Did she do something else? But then he opened his eyes when he was in the coffin. It wasn't like it was a fake body. Fuck, bro.
Lark staged Klaus. He's dead. Took Sage about an hour before she got sick.
Yeah, Klaus was lying about being the sire of our bloodline.
Well, if he wasn't lying,
You haven't got long.
an hour is not enough time to get you all the way back to Mystic Falls.
For us to have our epic goodbye, Stefan.
They're not dying. We're not going to kill both of them. Come on.
You and Elena.
Well, I guess you'll just have to say goodbye for both of us, won't you? Call me if you cough up a lung. Elena's not at home. We're getting her out of town.
Klaus was lying. We're all gonna be okay.
Listen to me, Matt. If Klaus is the one that turned their bloodline, then they're all gonna die.
At the end of the day, Tyler's dead. That's for sure. And then they were all turned by Catherine, so it's just a matter of, is Klaus the sire, not the sire, is Klaus the origins of their bloodline? Oh my god, my brain.
I can keep driving to him, or I can turn around and go back to Stefan.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck. The thing is, like, sorry to pause again, I know I just pressed play. I get the idea of like, oh, I love Stefan, I love Damon, which one would I choose? But I would pick Stefan simply because one of your best friends, Caroline, is there as well. Like, this is multiple people that you can say goodbye to, whereas with Damon, it's only Damon. And yes, I know only Damon it takes away all the emotion of it, but you get what I mean. I feel like it's a more like logical choice to go for the one where you get to say goodbye to the most people.
Hey, where are you?
That's taking me home.
Well done, Elena.
Stefan.
Not just to Stefan.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Can I ask you a question?
Who would you choose?
Of course.
If it was just down to him and me, and you had to make a choice, who would it be?
I love him, David. He came into my life at a time when I needed someone, and I fell for him instantly.
I feel like it's more of a respect thing, picking Stefan over Damon, in my opinion. Like, he did so much for her.
It's always gonna be Stefan.
I disagree.
I can't think about it always.
Exactly.
All I can think about is right now. And I care about you, Damon.
Sorry to pause in this scene. It's just like, Stefan came into Elena's life and sort of birthed this new Elena, an Elena that felt joy again after her parents' death and all that. So don't get me wrong, Damon has done so much for Elena as well, 100%. But with how Elena has been this episode, and looking back at sophomore year, looking back at her parents dying, and that traumatic time, and how Stefan brought her out of it, it makes sense that she would be feeling this way at this current point in time.
I mean, maybe if you and I had met first.
Maybe.
You're gonna be fine. You hear me?
Wow.
You're gonna be okay, and I'm gonna see you soon.
Real soon.
He's just gonna kill him. Is Alaric just gonna kill him?
Tyler! Tyler!
Oh god. Oh god.
Caroline?
Oh, thank fuck. At least if the end comes, they can say goodbye.
You're going to be fine, Caroline.
No, it's not me that I'm worried about.
There's no point. I'm a lost cause.
What's done is done.
Just tell my mother I left town like I was supposed to, okay?
Oh, that's so sweet that was one of his thoughts then. Does it necessarily mean that Tyler's gonna die? Is it just gonna kill the vampire half of him and the werewolf side can stay and keep him alive? But I don't know if that makes sense, because to become a hybrid, you have to die in the process like you would to become a vampire, so it would make sense if you die.
Go!
Fuck, bro.
It's Tyler. He's gone, Elijah. There was nothing I could do to stop it.
I'm just glad you got out of there, Rebecca. Holy fuck.
You said that Niklas turned that bloodline.
Is it her?
He did.
It wasn't me. It wasn't Cole.
It wasn't me, Elijah. It was Niklaus, I'm sure of it.
How does that make sense?
And how are they still alive?
Yeah. Was it Bonnie? Did Bonnie do something?
I know you're here.
Klaus? Oh.
I must say, you really did that spell brilliantly. I didn't think you had it in you.
I did it to save my friends and my mother, Klaus. Not you.
What? So she turned Klaus into Tyler. No. Or did she transfer his soul into Tyler's body? Oh, my brain. I don't know if she made Klaus look like Tyler or she put Klaus's soul into Tyler. That's where I'm a little bit torn here right now. But at the end of the day, who the fuck died in the coffin then? Was it Tyler? Did Bonnie, like, move their bodies around? Because if so, what the fuck, Bonnie? But if not, then what did we see? Because we saw someone get staked and burn up. I'm so intrigued.
Elijah says we have to run, that the hunter will keep coming after us, but I don't want to run anymore, Stefan. There is no deal. If my brothers and I are going to survive, we need to get rid of Alaric, and the only way to get rid of Alaric.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Here, use mine.
Not Mercury Bridge.
Look out!
How dare you do that to her? How dare you?
Dad?
Oh, she's having flashbacks.
I know, Bonnie. You're right. You and my mom both are. I just can't bring myself to tell him.
Wait, what?
Catherine,
I'm Elena.
you just look...
Insanely like her.
Not to be rude or anything, Damon, but it's kind of creepy that you're out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You want to talk? You're out here all by yourself.
It's Mystic Falls. Nothing bad ever happens here.
Ah.
I don't know what I want.
Well, that's not true. You want what everybody wants.
This is
You want a love
fascinating.
that consumes you. You want passion and adventure and even a little danger.
So what do you want?
I want you to get everything you're looking for. But right now, I want you to forget that this happened. Can't have people knowing I'm in town yet.
Holy shit, bro. Holy shit. Especially when she literally said, if only we had met first, and he erased that memory. I'm a little taken back by that, trying to think about how that affects everything. I've just kind of been sitting here for a minute, to be honest, like processing the intricacies of what that means now. And it's just so crazy. But yeah, anyway, let's get into this, even though I am greatly concerned for Damon right now. Nice, well done. Well done. God, I got scared. But yeah, holy fuck. Elena, Matt. Is it going to end up in her dying, not saving her first? Because he listened to her, he did what she wanted. I feel like that might be the end of Elena.
What's happening? Oh, no. Rick! You are not dead. You are not dead.
Jeremy.
Because he's dead.
Just wanted to say goodbye and it kind of happened.
Rick?
I just want you to know that I'll always be here to look after you, Jeremy. But you'll never be alone.
I don't understand.
Jeremy.
Oh my God, you're a ghost.
Yeah.
What if you're dead?
Yeah.
You need to know, when Jeremy brought Elena in here earlier tonight, her injuries were worse than I let on. It wasn't a concussion. It was a cerebral hemorrhage, bleeding on the brain.
Did you give her vampire blood?
I helped her. She needed my help.
You what?
Is that what this is? Oh my god. My brain can't process that. Holy shit. Holy shit. What the fuck? I was like, maybe it's a possibility, but oh my god. I have no words. I have no words. I'm taken back, bro. What? So, that was the season 3 finale of The Vampire Diaries, and holy shit. I have never been more excited for the next episode of The Vampire Diaries than I am right now. Like, bro, we're finally going to be seeing Elena as a vampire. This is something that I've been, I wouldn't necessarily say waiting for. It's not something that I've literally been sitting here like, oh my god, come on, turn her. But it's something that I've always seen coming. Like, there is no fucking way we were going to make it to the season 8 and have Elena be a human the entire time, like the entire length of the show. It was not going to happen. But I did not expect it to be the finale of season 3. I thought it would be like season 5, season 6, like towards the end of the show. Oh my Christ. This is so exciting. It's so exciting. Not only because I would love to see how Elena is as a vampire. I'd love to see her family connections. I would love to see, oh my god, my hair's being weird. I would love to see her relationship with Jeremy, how that changes, her relationship with Bonnie, like so many things. It's just so intricate here. Like, Bonnie's going to be the only human of the group. Like, yes, she's a witch, but she's not a vampire. Whereas you've got Bonnie, Caroline, and Elena. Caroline and Elena are going to be vampires now. Caroline can, like, help Elena through it all. But then are Damon and Stefan's feelings for Elena going to change now that she is a vampire? I don't think so. I feel like their feelings are stronger than their wanting of a human partner, if you get what I mean. Like, I feel like it's going to be a tougher pill to swallow for Stefan, but that deletes the problem of their love for blood and the lust that would have caused on Stefan's side. Like, that's going to be gone now, so that'll be a lot easier for him. But yeah, how fucking interesting. Another thing I was just thinking of is, how is vampire Elena going to be? Because we know that being a vampire heightens certain parts of your personality, and it kind of like for instance, Caroline's a control freak, and then she turned to a vampire and fuck me. But with Elena, she loves very strongly. So now that she's a vampire, that will be heightened. She very much tries to care for the people around her, and she like jumps on the self-sacrificial train every single time. So that will be heightened, and she'll be bloody throwing herself in front of every car to save everyone. But yeah, bloody hell am I excited for season 4, episode 1. I'm trying to think of everything else that happened in the episode, but my brain's a bit like, phew. So Alaric is gone. Confirmed, because now that Elena died, he is also dead. It means that Klaus cannot make any more hybrids. It means that that side of the doppelganger stuff is over. And does that mean that... No, because it will still be a while until a new doppelganger is born, isn't it? It's always like a few centuries, because wasn't Catherine turned in like... It was like the early years of like the 1400s or something. I might be wrong on that, but it was a while before Elena was born. So... my head. I've got like just so many thoughts running through that I can't think coherently. But yeah, we had the revelation of Damon being the one who actually met Elena first and who actually helped her first, because even though he didn't help her with the moving on of her parents the way that Stefan did and all stuff like that, but he did help her with her relationship with Matt, and he tried to show her the way, which was really nice to see. It was really nice to see a caring Damon from back then, because back then Damon was a lot different than he is right now. And just to know that those parts of him were still there even then is, I don't know, it adds another layer to him. But my god, how they're all going to react to Elena being a vampire. I can't get that out of my head. That's going to be insane. But yes, anyway, I believe that's everything I can fathomably talk about right now. So let's move on to Patreon questions, as they may help me think of things that I can't right now. Holy shit, there are a lot of questions. I don't know if I'll be able to answer them all. Let's just start and we'll see. But if I haven't answered your question, it's just because I believe that I've covered it earlier on, you know. But I'm going to try and answer them all. So yes, first up, how do you think the transition will go for Elena? And do you think that she could be at risk of becoming a Ripper? I didn't think about the idea of becoming a Ripper. Not just becoming a Ripper, but even a Sire. Like, you never know. Like, the Sire bond. There's so many, like, little subclasses of vampires that she could be, which is really intriguing. In terms of at risk of becoming a Ripper, I don't know whose blood Meredith used, and I don't know if that plays a role, because if she used Stefan's blood, does that mean that Elena is of a higher chance to get turning into a Ripper? But then, even then, Catherine wasn't, and Stefan still became a Ripper, so it could just be like a once-in-a-blue moon thing that just happens. It's not necessarily genetic, but even then, I'm pretty sure, didn't she just take a stash of Damon's blood, and that's what she's been using right now? So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think she's got a good chance of anyone in becoming a Ripper, but in terms of how her transition will go, she's going to have to feed on human blood. I believe that doesn't mean she has to kill. It doesn't mean that she has to feed on a human. She could just use one of their blood bags. And I think at the end of the day, even if for some reason Elena goes down the same route that Caroline's dad did and didn't want to become a vampire, I still feel like someone would force her to drink. I don't think we're going to be losing Elena. But even then, in terms of how her transition will go, Elena has spent her entire time with Stefan and Damon and everyone thinking of her future, thinking about who she'll be when she grows older, where she might have kids, like all of those things. And now to know that she's a vampire and she can't, I feel like that's going to hit her more than anything else. It's the same like vibe of when Bonnie's mum became a vampire and she like lost her witchy side. It's like there's certain parts of Elena that she just loves about being human. And with them now gone, I think that is going to have such a big effect on her. Now, next up, what do you think now of Stefan always being a yes man to Elena's choices after you saw how dangerous it is and what fatal consequences codependency can lead to? Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier on in the episode, because I remember in the past I used to get very angry with people not letting Elena do what she wanted to do, and I thought that it was really good that Stefan did. The issue is what I was talking about earlier, that I think Damon doesn't let Elena make enough choices by herself. He puts her living above anything else, even her own happiness, which I think is going to be a problem no matter what. But then Stefan's side of things is to just do whatever Elena wants. And we know how self-sacrificial Elena is. She will have full knowledge that she is going to die, but if she can save the person next to her or herself, she will always save them. And that's the problem. You could say it's a problem, you could say it's not a problem, but I don't know. When we're talking about saving Elena's life, in terms of that car, I would much rather Stefan had got Elena out than Matt, because, like, well, let's all be real. I know that he's a human being and I don't want to, like, diminish that, but in terms of who impacts everyone's lives the most, I think everyone could handle the loss of Matt easier. They could handle the loss of Elena. I don't want to be a dick, but in terms of him being he's not a very interesting character, and Elena's a main fucking character. So, like, I would have 100% picked Elena there. But yeah, very interesting that how that played out, because if you're just saying yes to someone all the time who you know has those tendencies, then it's only ever going to end in pain. But luckily, Meredith had given her vampire blood, so that's good. Because literally in the scene when she was like, oh no, it's just a little concussion, don't worry about it, to Jeremy, I was like, Meredith, it didn't look like that, love, but it makes so much sense now that she was just trying to play it down for Jeremy and gave her the blood. I love how this story is just so fucking well written. This is one of those shows that I know I'm going to come back to in the future and just fucking love a good rewatch, because it has so much rewatchability, because it's so complicated, so complex, but good. It's not complicated or complex in the sense that it's hard to understand, or that it's a bit wishy-washy about, like, lore and that. They know what they're doing, and I fucking love it. But yes, anyway, moving on. Next up, what do you think of the shooting underwater and the parallels drawn out in this episode? I fucking loved the way that they did that. The sort of switching between the two scenes, because not only did it give us a look into Elena's parents and their relationship with Elena, more so than we've got throughout the entire show. Like, we've hardly seen any interactions between her and her parents, because they've always been flashbacks, but even then, we never really got any flashbacks with her parents, did we? We got like very, very minimal interactions, but we never got a substantial scene. Whereas actually seeing her parents interact with Jenna and seeing them interact with her and the lovely phone call she had with her mum, telling her, you know what you want, like you just gotta be honest with yourself, like good mother, good parenting. And then the holding her dad's hand and saying, I love you. It was so beautiful to be able to see that. But then to see that sort of mirrored in Elena's drowning and her potential death again, but not even her potential death. She has died. It is the end of human Elena. This is now vampire Elena. And to see her die in the same place that her parents did, it's kind of like Stefan gave her like, how long has it been? A year or 2 years? I feel like it's only been a year since the start of the Vampire Diaries. Was the Vampire... No, it was Love Victor recently, wasn't it? That I had that revelation that it was all in 1 year. How long has it been for the Vampire Diaries? I need to look this up. Okay, so that was in November 2010. And was it May 2009? Yeah, so this has all been basically within a year's time span, which is one, insane. And two, it's so interesting because it was kind of like my point that I was making before I went down that whole fucking tangent. It's kind of like Stefan gave her the gift of a final year being a human and a final year experiencing the human things before her actual eventual death, which then has now allowed her to become a vampire, which is insane. And I am so fucking excited for that. But yeah, to get back to the question, the parallels underwater and how they kept switching between the scenes was fucking beautiful. I loved that. That was really well done, because there are times when I didn't know who we were looking at. I didn't know what car we were looking at, which event we were watching. And I loved that confusion mixed in as well. But yes, anyway, moving on. How do you feel about Damon holding on to his memory while Alaric beat him to death? I didn't think of that. So much was happening this episode that I was so caught up in the moment that I didn't even think about what the characters were feeling in the moment. The fact that that's what Damon was thinking about, because obviously that would be on his mind after Elena has just said to him about meeting Stefan first and what if we had met first. And you do wonder, does Damon regret erasing that memory from Elena's mind because then they would have met first? But you also wonder, wait, she'll remember that now because she's turned into a vampire. All compels are out the window. So she's going to remember what Damon said to her then. I wonder if that's going to change her perception of things as well. Holy shit. But yeah, back to the question. It's not surprising that would be what was on Damon's mind. And it's fucking sad that in what he thought were his final moments, he's thinking of the fact that he was the one who spoke to Elena first. And that was one of the reasons she gave him as to why she's going to see Stefan, was that they met first. And yeah, it's really hard to see, but at least now we know that they're all safe and they can experience a future together, potentially. But yes, next up, would you like to analyze Elena's decision? While she was going back to Mystic Falls to see Stefan, she chooses to end up calling Damon especially to let him know what she was doing. Why though? Interesting. I can't really sit here and say that was her deciding that she was going to be with Stefan rather than Damon, to be honest, because it's not how I took it in the moment. It still felt like she was undecided. It more so felt like she was going to see Stefan, one, because Caroline was there as well, but two, because with all of this reminiscing that she's been doing all episode and the thoughts back to her sophomore year and the car crash and Stefan saving her, it was more so that she was just so hooked on the idea that she might have owed Stefan something, not necessarily owe him something, but just there's a certain kind of love that you attach to someone who brings you out from a dark time. And I feel like I'm not sitting here and saying that I think she actually meant to choose Damon. I'm saying that I still don't think she was decided in that moment. I still don't think she has decided. I think it was a lot easier to pick Stefan in that time, because when you're dealing with something where you've got two choices and you really are not sure which one you're going to pick, when you then have memories of how a certain person helped you, you will find that to be the easier path. And Elena was dealing with the idea of losing them both. And if she goes back to her home, she could say goodbye to Caroline, say goodbye to Stefan, and she could call Damon. And she kind of like gets the best of both worlds in that scenario. But I just feel like it was easier to reconcile within her own brain I'm going to say goodbye to Stefan because of what he did for me at Wickery Bridge. I don't think it necessarily implies that she had picked Stefan over Damon. And I think it's going to be especially interesting now when we go into season 4, episode 1, because we're going to be dealing with Elena remembering what Damon had said to her before because he compelled her to forget, but now that's out the window. And we're also going to be dealing with Elena with heightened emotions. And now that she is a vampire as well, I don't know where this... Oh, that's another thing. Is Elena going to be like feeling so many emotions that she turns them off? Because like I know that she won't want to, but it's so easy to turn them off that will she? Because that would be interesting as well. But I don't think she will. I don't know if they go down that route. I feel like Elena's seen so much pain come from vampires that turn their emotions off that she just won't do it. But yeah, I don't know. There's just so many intricacies to her becoming a vampire now and how that will affect every relationship. I wonder how this is going to affect Bonnie as well, because I keep thinking about that. Like, her mum's a vampire, Caroline's a vampire, Elena's now a vampire. Like, holy shit. And also Catherine! How interesting is that going to be? To have Elena and Catherine meet again where Elena is now a vampire. I really want to see that. But yes, anyway, moving on. Going back to the talk in episode 19 about expectations, in my opinion, I think that plays a lot into Elena's decision to go back to Stefan and not follow to pursue Damon. What are your thoughts? I'm going to have to look up that talk just to get it fresh in my memory again, and then I will answer the question. Okay, so I just listened to it again, and I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like in terms of how it influenced her decision here, the way I take it is Stefan was the safer option for Elena because, like Damon was saying, when you are good, people expect good. And I feel like that's why she chose Stefan, because Stefan is always going to be, like someone mentioned earlier, a yes man. And he's always going to be someone who is wanting the best for Elena, even if it makes her life worse, if you go, I mean, like, if you want the best for Elena, that means you're allowing her to make all of her decisions, which could end up with her dead, which isn't the best for Elena. Like, many contradictions there, but Stefan will always be the safer option because so long as he hasn't, like, gone full Ripper or he's been influenced by Klaus or something, he will always do the right thing, and he will always be quote-unquote good, which is easy, which is predictable, which is safe. Whereas with Damon, he's a bit more of a wild card. And I feel like in the moment of feeling so emotional and trying to reconcile what she thought she owed Stefan for saving her life, I think that sort of like fogged her judgment and she thought that she was choosing Stefan, but I genuinely don't think that she's picked yet. I don't think that she has actually made the decision of who she wants to be with, because I think it was just a safe option at the time because she'd been given a timeline, like she'd been given a time limit, like they are going to die. So yeah, very interesting. But in terms of how it affected her decision to go back to Stefan and not follow or pursue Damon, I do think that it was just because it was a safer option. Now, moving on, how do you think that Elena will handle her vampirism? Based on how Vicky and Caroline's human personalities and issues affected them as vampires, how do you think Elena's humanity will affect her? What kind of vampire do you think she'll be? Do you think she'll lean more towards Stefan or Damon's approach to it? And which one do you think would work/be the best for her? I kind of talked about that, but I didn't really talk about the way that she would go in terms of the route of Stefan or Damon. I'm not sure, to be honest, because she's very self-righteous. She sees herself as a good person, and she is a good person, and she always tries to do the right thing. So you would think that she would go down Stefan's route, but she's also someone who is very, very emotional, and with that being heightened as a vampire and how we know that emotions a lot of the time turn into cravings, I do wonder if she will be not necessarily a Ripper, but like more on the Ripper side of a normal vampire, in that I feel like her emotions will like influence how she is a lot, and she might not be able to control herself as well. But I don't know, that's speculating a lot because I'm very excited to see the parts of her personality that will be enhanced, because like I just said, like emotions normally mean hunger for vampires. So with her being so emotional, I just want to see how that affects her. I want to see if she's going to be really happy being a vampire or she's going to be depressed, and if those emotions will sort of make her lean towards the side of turning them off. There's just so many things to think about. But yeah, I don't know what approach she'll take, to be honest. I think it could go either way at this point. So yeah. Right, moving on. What do you think about the fact that Damon actually met Elena first? Why do you think he erased her memory and never told her about it? People like to call Damon selfish, and he definitely is at times, but I think he often shows selflessness towards Elena. I agree with that. Like, for example, in this situation and in season 2, episode 8, when he had first told Elena he loved her. He had gotten her necklace back for her, told her he loved her and that he didn't deserve her, and then compelled her to forget. Why do you think Damon does this? Why does he not want Elena to know? Some very interesting points brought up, and I do agree on the front of Damon being selfish, except when it comes towards Elena, because don't get me wrong, I feel like the word selfish has a very negative connotation for what it is. I think that everyone should be at least a little bit selfish. Like, if you are 100% selfless, you're probably not going to live a good life because you're doing nothing for yourself. Like, nothing for yourself. And that's just stupid. That's unheard of. That's not going to lead to a happy life. You have to have some level of selfishness, and I don't think that that is a bad thing. But Damon definitely is quite selfish, and I don't think that you can necessarily blame him being a vampire and having this hunger and being able to manipulate people so easily. I don't think you could blame someone for becoming selfish, but when it comes to Elena, he is definitely selfless. He does so many things for Elena that go against his own needs, that go against what he would want. So I agree with that side of things. And then why does he do it? Why does he not want her to know? I think because of what he was saying in the speech in episode 19, like, he doesn't want people to know these things because then they'll expect them. And he doesn't want to live up to people's expectations. He likes doing things for people when he wants to. He doesn't want them to think he's going to do something. He doesn't want to be predictable. He doesn't want people to know him truly, which I think is quite sad. I think it'll be quite nice to allow people in, but it's understandable by why someone like Damon would be that way, why he would try and protect himself. But yeah, the reason he doesn't like Elena to know those things is because I don't think he wants her to expect him to be good, especially when he sees how much emphasis Elena puts on that and how much that makes her love Stefan. Just the good things that he does. I don't think Damon likes those kind of things. I don't think he likes people thinking they know him, because then it's sort of like it's a control thing. I don't know. There's so many things you could read into that, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Now, moving on, do you think Stefan was right in respecting Elena's choice in this situation, even if it ended up with her dying? You could debate that all day, in my opinion. You could sit here all day and debate whether he was right or wrong. You could say that he was right because he did what she wanted, but then it resulted in her dead. But then if he had chose Elena, it would result in Matt being dead, and then Matt would be dead. At least Elena gets to come back here. You could like go back and forth the whole way, but I think that the thing to focus on here is that Stefan is too much of a yes man. He follows what Elena wants too often. And while I think that everyone has the right to their own decisions and has the right to do what they want in their life, when you're talking about someone that you love, there's kind of an expectation that you would try and protect them. I think that Damon can be too protective, and that's what I'm saying about them both being extremes of either side. But there's a level of protection where you do just try and protect someone even if it's against what they want. And in that situation, you would save Elena over Matt, but like I just said, that would mean that Matt would be dead and at least Elena gets to come back. So I don't know. You could debate it all day, but my thoughts are that either way is wrong in terms of Stefan and Damon's approach. They need to find a healthy balance. Now, moving on from there, people always point out that Damon started crying because he realized Elena had died when Alaric died in his arms. Do you think he was crying just for her, or was it for Alaric as well? I feel like there might have been some element of Alaric in there because Damon doesn't process his emotions very well, and it was so soon after having the scene of sitting with Alaric in the tomb. It was so soon after that he found out he was alive again. But so I do think that that mixed in. I do think that he hadn't fully processed that loss yet. But what I think happened was Alaric started dying and Damon started to get emotional because of that. And then it started to process in his head like, wait, if he's dying, that means Elena's dead. And so that's where I think the majority of that emotion came from. I'd say it was like 10% Alaric, 90% Elena, because I think Alaric started it, but then finding out about Elena just destroyed him then and there. Now, moving on from there, we saw Elena struggling about her relationship with Matt in the flashbacks. How do you think those flashbacks relate to her decision about choosing Stefan in the end? How do you describe the parallels between them? And do you think she followed her mother's advice this time? I'm not sure if she followed her mother's advice, because her mother said to be true to herself and to figure out who she wanted to be with. And I don't necessarily think that that means Stefan. Because, yeah, Stefan is the safe choice. Stefan is definitely the person who will always be there for Elena, even if it's detrimental to her. But I feel like Elena was backed into a corner due to the time limit and made the most logical choice she could at the time, given that she was so caught up in the idea of Stefan saving her and bringing her out of that dark time. Whereas if she actually had a good sit down and thought to herself what each of them means to her and what each of them brings to her, I don't know if she'll come to the same decision. She might, but she might not. I think that that was very much an in the moment just picking one because it was an easier option. Now, in terms of the parallels between her fighting with Matt, I haven't really thought about that, so give me a minute on that. It was very much about honesty and about being honest with yourself and what you want out of a relationship and if you're just stringing them along. And obviously Elena's been feeling terrible for a while now about stringing both of the brothers on and not just picking one, which again is why I think she picked Stefan, because it was the easier option because she felt like she was cornered. But as it relates to Matt, Matt was talking about wanting to spend their lives together and what they would do in the future, and Elena just didn't feel that way. So I think that she was more so just trying her best to figure out who would give her a good life. And because Damon doesn't like showing his good side a lot, and because Damon doesn't like people expecting him to be good, it was just a lot easier to pick Stefan at the moment. And I'm not saying, do not get me wrong, I'm not saying that she would have picked Damon if she had the time and there wasn't this like whole thing going on. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I think she is still in a 50-50 situation. She just picked Stefan at the time because she had to make a decision and it was the easier option. That's where I stand. But yes, anyway, the final question before we end this reaction is, the Wickery Bridge plays a significant role in the Vampire Diaries. So many important incidents happen on this bridge. What do you think the bridge symbolizes in this show? Oh God, what the bridge symbolizes? I mean, at the end of the day, the bridge, it kind of symbolizes death in terms of like, it's kind of like the bridge to the other side because it's made of the white oak. So it was a way of killing the original vampires. Elena's parents died on it. Elena died on it. When Stefan was driving her, Elena also died earlier on. Like, so many moments of this show happen to do with death on the bridge. So you could definitely say that it symbolizes the bridge to the afterlife and the, as you leave town, you're leaving this world. But yeah, it is very interesting from an in-universe perspective how much that bridge plays into the show. You could argue, given that it's made of the white oak, you could argue that it's its own magical thing itself. So yeah, it's a very interesting part of the Vampire Diaries, and I do wonder if it will have any other key moments on it again. But yes, anyway, there we have it. That was season 3. Definitely my favorite season of the Vampire Diaries so far. I'd say for me, it probably goes season 3, season 2, season 1. It's like, it's only got better, the Vampire Diaries, but I don't know if I were to watch it back, I don't know if that would be my same opinion, but I'm saying 3, 2, 1 simply because the amount of lore that we have gained over time makes me so fucking happy. Like, I love rich lore shows. So as it's gone on, it's just got better and better for me. So that's my opinion right now. But if I were to watch all 8 seasons back again when I'm done, my list might change in that way, but we'll see. Right now, it's definitely... Season 3 was fucking incredible. Not a single filler episode at all. Just pure, beautifully written story. And I'm loving this show so far, genuinely. But yes, anyway, with that said, that was season 3. I'm so excited for season 4 and to see Elena become a vampire and how that's going to affect everything. We still don't even know what fucking happened with Tyler, so I want to see what happens with that as well. But yeah, anyway, with that said, thank you very much for watching. I've left a link down below to my Patreon. We're able to find the early and uncut reactions to the Vampire Diaries and all the other shows that I do. I've also left a link to my Twitch, my Discord, and my socials, so be sure to follow them if you are interested. And yes, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.